All right, top, you got your marker or clearance lights on both my tractor and my trailer. All right, I'm looking at them. All right, I want to see them all properly mounted to them, to the tractor or the trailer. All right, I don't want them bent, broken, or cracked. I want them all working. They all should be working. Okay. You let them know they're all working. All right, and their proper color, amber. All right, those we see.
So I gotta leave all the lights on inside, right?
You turn the lights on and turn the hazards. All right. Turn this. Okay, go in, turn the lights on, turn the hazards, and then do your inspection. Okay. All right. But if you forget that, don't worry about it. Just tell them they're working. All right. Over here, they're not a stickler on that.
Okay.
All right. Other states say they are a stickler on that. This is not. Huh? 17. Yeah. I'm going over the inspection. I got an hour of inspection. All right.
I'm gonna shoot your bomber clock. All right. Remember, like I tell you, this is the inspection. That whole shit, that's old. You gotta test Friday. Leave it out.
All right. Got it? All right. So those lights, remember, even if you forget to turn them on and put those lights on, they're not stickler for that. Just tell them that they're working. All right. Okay. So those lights, not bent, broken, or cracked. The marker clearance lights for my tractor and my trailer. Not bent, broken, or cracked. Properly all mounted. Proper color, amber, and they're all working. All right. Amber's always to the front, to the side. One line down, we got our windshield. Our windshield, I don't want to see cracks or chips. All right. I want to have it no illegal stickers and nice and clean so you can see through it. Now it has a seal that goes all the way around. That seal, like I said, anything made of rubber. No abrasions, no bulges, no cuts. And I want to see it properly seated all the way around. All right. One line down, I got my windshield wipers. All right. Not bent, broken, or cracked. The blades themselves are no cuts, no frays. All right. And they're properly seated on the windshield. All right, so they can do its job. On that same line, I'm going to move over. I got two stickers that are going to remind me about this sticker down here, right? You got the registration and inspections of this vehicle, all right? We need to know that they're up to date.
Okay.
And their proper location, okay? Again, if you notice, there's two reasons why we go through this pre-procurement section. Stuff that can put you out of service or can give you a fine. That's one thing that can give you a fine in this state. So, up to date and proper location. We're gonna move down. We're gonna start getting hands-on. Remember, get hands-on. Show them. Pull. All right, the hood is properly locked and secured. And no, it's bent, broken, or cracked. We got our grill properly mounted to our hood. Again, not bent, broken, or cracked. Same line. I got my left and my right. Remember, say left and right. All right, you only say one, you only point to one, you only get credit for one. I'm looking for both, my left and my right. Headlights, turn lights. This one has a reflector, the other one has a marker light. Okay. All right, they're all working properly. Properly mounted on that hood. Proper color, amber for those turn lights and marker lights. All right, and they're clean and clear so they can shine properly. One line down. Got the bumper.
Okay.
Bumper's properly mounted to the frame of the chassis. I don't see no missing hardware. It's not bent, broken, or cracked. My license plate. Here in the state we have a front license plate. I see it's properly mounted to the bumper and the letters and numbers are clear and visible. All right? Because it has to be or else you get a fine.
Okay.
Look underneath. I want to look underneath now. I don't want to see nothing leaking. I don't want to see nothing hanging. Okay, and I want to see this truck nice and level, not leaning to one side or another. Possibility of three problems. You know what they could be?
You got low pressure in the tires?
That's right, tire problem. It could be low pressure, punctured tire. They could have accidentally stuck the wrong size tire. Okay. Right? Suspension, very good. Suspension problem. Any part of the suspension could be broken to cause it to lean. Okay. And as a truck driver, commercial truck driver, what's the one that you're going to see the most of? All right, and the most important one for you?
Which one?
What do you put on the truck? Your load.
Oh.
All right, improper load.
Okay.
All right, that's the one you guys are going to see the most of. All right, if it loads to one side, it's going to lean to one side. Okay. You want the load always level, left to right and front to back. Okay. Okay. An even load, everything carried evenly. All right, so I don't see it leaning to one side or the other, which could be a problem with my tire. my suspension or my cargo or load on the vehicle. All right. Come over to my side. All right. Normally, remember when you do the outside inspection, you want this tire turned to the right side. I'm going to open the hood so you can stick your camera inside and take a look at what we're looking at. All right. You don't open the hood for the outside inspection. You have to turn the wheel. All right. For the outside inspection, you just turn the wheel. You don't open the hood.
Okay.
All right. We're going to start with our suspension parts. All right. We got our leaf spring hangers, front and back. All right. Again, front and back, you're looking at them. Look, it has bolts. I don't want to see no missing bolts. Not bent, broken, or cracked. Properly mounted to what? Frame or chassis. Very good. All right. Now, these are my leaf springs. All right. Again, we don't want to see them bent, broken, or cracked. We don't want to see none missing. All right. And straighten the line. No scissoring. Okay. Now I want to look at these U-bolts. Those are U-bolts right there I'm looking at. I want to see that they're properly seated on this. This is called the saddle. All right? And properly mounted to the axle. No missing hardware.
Okay.
All right? Again, not bent, broken, or cracked. None of it. We're going to look at the shock absorber. Properly mounted top and bottom. Look, has bolts. No missing hardware. Right? And I don't want to see any leaks because it contains a liquid. Now I'm going to start coming out to my braking system. My braking system consists with this little cable. Right? And this airline. It's my brake airline. All right? That's what it is, a brake airline. It's not an airline, it's a brake airline. And this is your ABS cable.
Okay.
All right? Again, it's made of rubber, so no abrasions, no bulges, no cuts. And I don't hear any audible leaks or air leaks.
Okay.
All right? You're going to come to this. What's this?
What's it called?
You know what this is?
The brake chamber?
That's right, brake chamber. Look, nuts and bolts. No missing hardware or nuts and bolts. Not bent, broken, or cracked because it's hard. It contains air. No audible leaks. Everything's here. You just gotta look, remember the names. All right? Now we have this.
Slack adjuster.
And push rod. This is a push rod that comes on, and that's the slack adjuster. Same move at the same time. Get them over with. Push rod and slack adjuster. You don't want no more than how much?
1 inch.
1 inch of play when pulled. Remember, with the brakes release or off. I can't check them right now because I have brakes on.
Okay.
All right. You're gonna look in here. Stick your camera in there. You're gonna see right in there. You're gonna see the brake shoes. All right. The brake drum. Go ahead. Look in there. All right. What's the minimum on those shoes?
On the shoes, what is it?
1/4 inch.
Quarter
Has to
inch?
have more than a 1/4 inch of material on those shoes.
Okay.
All right. I don't want to see any glazing or bluing on the drum. Grazing on the shoes or bluing on the drum would indicate what? What does that tell me when you see that?
It's worn. It's oil leak.
Not oil leak. Bluing, when you get heat up steel, it turns it. When you heat up steel and cool off, it turns it bluish.
Okay.
That's a sign of overheating.
Okay.
All right, glazing on those shoes or bluing on the drum. When we see that, we have to add a service.
Okay.
All right. So, I don't want to see no bluing on the drums or glazing on those shoes, which indicate overheating. I also, all that's not bent, broken, or cracked. The shoes are properly seated in that drum, and I don't see no oil, grease, or debris around those on the brakes. All right, so they properly work. I gotta come into this tire. What do we need to know about this tire? Tell me, come on.
It has to be 432 of an inch. Second
Minimum
of an
thread
inch.
432. What else?
Can be recap.
That's
And
right.
recap with
No
quarter.
recaps around. Has to be new radial tires. What else?
No bolt. No man, no ball.
Threads. Let's stick up here with the threads. One more thing about these threads I'm looking at.
Can you recap to thread it?
No recap of threaded. We said that. What else? One more thing. All right. Look at these threads. I want to have them no more. I want to have more than 4/32 of an inch of threads. All right. I don't want to have them recapped or rethreaded. All right. Not allowed in the front. They have to be new radials. I want to see that they're evenly worn.
Okay.
All right. That indicates of a problem with air pressure or suspension or alignment. We don't want to see that. We want to see them always evenly worn. This tire right here has an arrow. So this is telling me the direction. It's going the right direction, forward. I like that. That's what it's supposed to be. All right. We're also looking at the both inner and outer walls of these tires. See no abrasions, bulges, or cuts. All right, and we want to make sure it's properly seated on the rim on both sides. All right, and no air leaks that we can hear. The rim. What about this rim?
Can be cracked, damaged, or broken.
Not bent, broken, or cracked.
Can be welded.
That's right. No illegal welds. I don't want to see any illegal welds. If welding is done right, it's better than fucking brand new. But if it's done wrong, it weakens the steel even more. And there's a lot of pressure on this shit, so we don't want any illegal welds. All right, and they're properly fastened with this. What is these?
Lug nuts, all lug nuts present.
That's right. All lug nuts are present. How can I tell that they're loose? There's three signs.
Rusty.
Not rusty. Nope. What?
You can't see rust on the.
Rust streaks.
Oh, rust streaks.
Rust streaks. What are rust streaks? Rust streaks is water gets in and pulls the rust out,
Okay.
making rust streaks. I don't want to see little rust streaks, kind of like fingers like that. Whoop, coming out. No rust streaks from behind the nut. What else do we see? Can we see? Right here where the nut's touching the rim. It will start to wear, right?
Yeah.
Shiny metal. Or maybe here on the threads because it's going in and out. That's
Okay.
what you look for. Those are the three signs of being loose, which is wear on the rim, wear on the threads, or rust streaks from behind the nut. All right, we don't want to see none of it. All right, here we have our hub seal. All right, our hub seal is all properly mounted, no missing hardware, and no leaks. All right, down here we got the air valve. We actually have a cap, an extension cap. All right, it is present. All right, and the valve is no, I don't see no, valve stem is no cuts, no frays, and no leaks that I can hear of.
Okay.
All right, and that's where I use an air gauge to check my tire. Let them know how you check the tire. In the book, it says two ways. Air pressure gauge. Can any of you tell me the other one?
Say it again.
There's two ways of checking your tire pressure in the book. Air gauge is one of them, which is the best way to do it. What's the other way, which is retarded?
Okay.
Lump hammer. All right, lump hammer. All right, but we check it with an air gauge. That's the way you should check your tire pressure. And the tire pressure should be about 100 psi depending on the vehicle. And where do you find the exact pressure for this vehicle?
In the gauge. Sticker.
On the driver's door frame sticker. Our manufacturer sticker on the driver's door frame tells you exactly tire size, rim size, tire pressure, okay? Gross vehicle weight for your kind of inspection, all right? All that. All right. So now, we did all that. Again, the hood will not be open for your outside inspection. Just so you can see it a little better. Now we're gonna grab lines, like I said, nice and order. See how I did that in the front page? I did this from inside, worked my way out.
Okay.
Get yourself in a nice order. That way you don't leave anything, because everything here you say. We're gonna start from here in the front. I got, what's this? There's one here. Mirrors and mirror brackets, right?
Okay.
Mirror brackets are all properly mounted, all right, to the body of frame. I'm looking at my mirrors, and that they're not cut, they're not cracked, they're not broken, all right, and they're clean. That's the important part. They gotta be clean. All right. Come right up for this line, right? I got my turn light, proper color, amber, turn light, marker light, right? Properly mounted to the hood, proper color, amber. Gonna move forward. Got the hood latch, right? It's in lock position, not cut, not frayed. Sorry, not bent, broken, or cracked. I'm gonna move over here. Got a door handle. Door handle opens the door. That's all its job. Open the door.
Okay.
Bent, broken, or cracked. Properly working. Now open this door. I'm gonna come on the inside. I got the seal. All properly seated. All right. No cut. Not frayed. Our step-up handles are properly mounted, secured. Not bent, broken, or cracked. My door hinges. No missing hardware. All right. Not bent, broken, or cracked. No signs of wear, which will be sag on this door. And this door itself open and closes properly and securely. Now step one down. I have my steps. Again, no missing hardware, not bent, broken, or cracked. And it's clean, no oil or debris, so they don't slip. All right? They're properly mounted to these tank straps, which we got to talk about. Tank straps properly mounted to the frame. They're sitting on their rubber seat properly, not cut, not frayed. None of it bent, broken, or cracked. They're holding this tank. This tank, not bent, broken, or cracked. I don't see no leaks. All right? It has a cap which is securely tight. What does it have inside?
Seal.
Seal and a chain. It has to have a seal and a chain. All right? And make sure you let them know that. It has a seal and a chain. All right, we're going to come over here. We're going to come over to here to my service lines. These are my service lines to my trailer. All right? I see the service lines to my trailer has no cuts, no frays, all right? And no air leaks or audible leaks. All right? I see they're not touching the frame. They're not supposed to touch the frame or anything else. And they're ample for turns. All right? And for turns, they're not going to get caught up on anywhere. Now, I have one that's electric, which is green. As you can see, it's plugged all the way into my tractor and my trailer. All right? With the lock tab behind it. All right? Not allowing that plug to come out.
Okay.
I have my air lines. I have my blue, which is my service air brake line. My red, which is my emergency air brake line. They're hard connected. This is called hard connection when you need a tool. All right, they're hard connected to my tractor. And they're connected to my trailer with those called glad hands. The glad hands are in the lock position. They're all the way in the lock. And I don't hear any audible leaks from them. All right, I'm gonna come down. I got my frame. No illegal welds, no illegal holes. Not bent, broken, or cracked. I got in here my drive shaft. All right, the drive shaft transfers a part from my transmission to my differential.
It's this one right here.
Right here, right? Okay. I see U-joints on both sides. There I'm not, no signs of being worn. All right, and no missing hardware and properly greased. I got down here, I have my muffler and exhaust. I see it's probably mounted to my frame. All right. Not bent, broken, or cracked. And I do not see signs of leaks. How can I tell from signs of leaks?
Because you go black.
Black where?
Where
Where
is
there's a
broken
hole.
or
Yeah, black soot. All right, black soot. So the exhaust is black soot coming out the exhaust. I should only see it in the tail. If I see any seams, joints, or any holes, congratulations, it's leaking. All right, so I don't see none of that, so we're good. All right, I'm gonna come up here. Front of my trailer, I see it from my trailer. It's called my headboard. It's not really a headboard, but that's what they want to hear it, so that's why I teach it to you.
Okay.
All right, it's a headboard, no missing panels, no missing rivets, no illegal holes. All right, we don't want any holes in it. I'm gonna come down. I'm gonna start my hard connection of my coupling system. All right, I have this plate on top. This plate on top is called the apron of my trailer. All right, and it has a kingpin, which is sitting in that fifth wheel assembly, and the kingpin's all the way in that fifth wheel assembly. None of it that I can tell is bent, broken, or cracked. Now my apron is sitting properly on that fifth wheel assembly top plate, which is called the skid plate. All right, I don't see any space between that skid plate and the apron, and properly greased. Now, that top plate is the skid plate. My bottom plate, which is fastened to the frame and chassis with no missing hardware, is my platform. My platform. All right, it's connected with a pivot pin. That pin in between both of those plates is a pivot pin. Allows the top plate to pivot. All right, I see no missing hardware to hold that pin in, and all of it is not bent, broken, or cracked. All right. Now, holding that kingpin is a lock or locking jaw. All right, and I can tell that lock is properly secured around it because my release handle on that side is all the way in and down. That's telling me the lock is in place. All right, and I don't see none of that from here that is bent, broken, or cracked. And I also see it's properly greased. Now, we're gonna go over the same thing we did up there. We're gonna do our braking system. All right, our suspension, our tires. All right, our braking system, my brake airline and ABS cable. You see them down there? They're there.
Yeah.
My brake chamber, my push rod, my slack adjuster. No more than 1 inch of play when pulled with the brakes released.
What's this piece right here?
All right.
The brake chamber?
No, this is the air dryer. Brake chamber's right there. It looks
Okay.
exactly like that one, just bigger. Right here.
Okay, okay.
Right there. Right there. Look right there.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. There's an air dryer. You don't need to talk about that.
Okay.
All right. Now we got brake shoes. More than a 1/4 inch of material. Sitting properly in the brake drum. No glazing on those shoes or gluing on the drum that indicates overheating. All right. And no grease or oil debris in those brakes. All right. We got our suspension. Leaf spring hanger. Much bigger here. My leaf springs. Remember, none missing. All right. Nice. Straight in a line. All right. My U-bolts. I see them properly seated in the saddle in there. Go ahead. Take a look. Look in there. Right there. All right. That's what you want. Seat in the saddle. Properly fastened to the axle. All right. Not bent, broken, or cracked. I see my shock absorber. Properly fastened on top and bottom. No leaks. Okay. This one I can also look back here. I can look over here. Trucks have them now. All right. That's your airbag.
Okay.
Your airbag has a plate on the top and the bottom. All right. Not bent, broken, or cracked. No abrasions, bulges, or cuts on the bags, and no audible leaks.
Okay.
All right. Now I'm coming out to these tires. And this is where I say both these tires because I'm looking at both of them. I'm going to talk to them about both of them. Both these tires. I want to look again at their threads. What's the minimum?
230,
That's right, 232 an inch. I want to see that they're both evenly worn. I want to see that these tires, and these tires are recapped. They're fine to be recapped in the back. Not a problem. These are recapped tires. And that they're same size tires. I want them the same size. I'm looking at both inner and outer walls of both these tires. That there's no abrasions, or bulges, or cuts. Properly seated on the rim. I want to see that there's space between the tires. I don't want obstructions or debris. I want to look at the rims of these tires. I want to see no space between the two rims. Nice and tight. All right? I don't want to have bent, broken, or cracked, no illegal welds. All right? I want to talk about those lug nuts. Again, in there. How can I tell they're loose?
One is rusty, and you have
Rust streaks.
Rust streaks.
Rust streaks or spidering. Rust spidering from the back of the nut. Rust streaks from behind the nut. Wear on the rim or wear on the threads. All right? How's this?
your
Axle seal. All right? No missing hardware. Not bent, broken, or cracked, and no leaks because it contains the liquid inside.
Okay.
All right, my valve stems. All right, same thing as in front. My valve stems, no cuts, no abrasions, caps present. Use my air gauge to check it. Should be around 100 psi. All right. No, I see the tires also free and clear from the trailers, and there's plenty of room, as well from this mud flap, which I have to look at. Mud flap and mud flap bracket that's properly mounted.
Okay.
All right. No cuts, no abrasions, not broken. All right. I want to see the mud flap at least 6 inches off the tire, and I don't want to see it more than 8 inches off the ground, or else it doesn't do its job. All right. This is good. All right. Now I'm gonna look back here. Look here. I'm gonna come over here. Look at this side, the back of your trailer. Back of your tractor. Back of your tractor, you gotta look at the lights. They're talking about those lights, right?
Okay.
All working, proper color, not bent, broken, or cracked. All right. The license plate properly mounted to the bracket, as clean and clear and visible. All right. You want to see the space between that tractor and the landing gear. Ample for turns, not too tight.
Okay.
Right? My landing gear. These are my braces and my cross member that goes from one to the other, as well as the landing gear. You're looking at it all, not to be bent, broken, or cracked, right? We want to see this landing gear all the way up. All right?
full of rights.
All the way up. All right? And the handle. We're going to talk about the handle on the other side from here.
Okay.
All right? That the handle's in a stowed or locked position. All right? We're going to look underneath this trailer now. Under this trailer, we see cross members. We see the floor. None of it bent, broken, or cracked. No holes or rot on that floor.
Okay.
All right? We're going to look at the side of this trailer. The side of this trailer, we want to see no missing rivets, no missing panels, no illegal holes. We're going to see DOT reflector. All right? DOT reflector. It has DOT and it reflects, guys. Right there, it says DOT and it reflects. DOT reflector. How much has to be covered along the side?
50%.
That's right. 50% of the side of the trailer has to be, one line has to be 50% covered. All right? And equal spacings. Look what, white to the front, red to the back. Tells me the direction this thing is going.
Okay.
All right? Proper direction, clean and clear. All right? And visible. Come down, I got this light. What is it?
Emergency lights.
It's your turning or hazard or marker and marker light because it lights up.
Okay.
Right? Stays lit. All right, directional. All right, it's properly working. Proper color amber, right? Not bent, broken, or cracked. We're gonna look again underneath this trailer. We're gonna see the airlines. All the airlines. What's the minimum off the ground?
18 inches.
That's right, minimum of 18 inches off the ground. All right? We want to see them all, these all the way up, these even better. No abrasions, no bulges, no cuts, no audible leaks.
Okay.
Since we're down here, this one has this. If you notice, I can move this axle, slide it forward, or slide it back. That's called a tandem track. Most trailers have it.
Okay.
All right? That tandem track, whether it's bent, broken, or cracked, the lock is in place. Now allowing this axle to move forward or back. All right? Remember, you move it forward and back more for load. You want an even load. I don't want it all to the back, all to the front. I want it even, so I'm going to have to move this to make it that way. Okay? But remember, if you move it forward, your tail will swing more.
Okay.
So you got to be mindful of turns. All right, guys?
So the truck that we're gonna take the test in is gonna
Similar.
be...
They all have the same.
Okay.
All right? They're all similar. All right. And there, look, that's the brake chamber.
Okay.
All right? Look how big it is. All right? Lucky enough, look for a cable, but none of our trailers have ABS, so you won't see a cable.
Okay.
All right? So, we're going to talk about that brake chamber, the push rod and slack adjuster. Now, the push rod and slack adjuster now here on the trailer, the brake chamber is on this side of the axle. If you look on this side, you'll see the push rod and slack adjuster. Push rod goes all the way across to this side, and the slack adjuster is on this side. Okay? Now, again, no more than 1 inch of play when pulled. But I also want to see that angle between that push rod and that slack adjuster is no more than 90 degrees. All right? With the brakes released. All right? We'll talk about our suspension. All right? We're faced with the brakes, the brake shoes, 1/4 inch, brake drum, sit properly, the brake drum, blazing, bluing, indicate overheating. All right? No grease or oil and debris in those brakes. All right? We're going to come over to our suspension now. Suspension now, we have leaf springs on this vehicle. All right, look, certain types that have leaf springs in an airbag, all right, or may just have an airbag, all right, but they'll all have this bar. All right, that bar is the torque bar.
Okay.
Torque bar. Okay, it's actually a torsion bar. I've always known as that, but in the book it's a torque bar. All right, that torque bar, not bent, broken, or cracked. No missing hardware. All right, this is where it hangs from. It's called a torque bar hanger. This is a combination because it has a spring hanger as well on it. So it's a leaf spring and torque bar hanger. All right? But we do have the other one that just has a box kind of in the front, which is the torque bar hanger, and just a bar and an airbag. You see that? You say that. That's all.
Okay.
All right? But they all have that bar. All right? We're going to talk about the tires the same as we talked up there. All right? Talk about both these tires, new threads, recap. Okay, allowed. No space between the tires, no space between the rims. All right, rim, axle, lug nuts, all the same things you're gonna be talking about like we did up there. Mud flap, 6 inches off the tire, no more than 8 inches off the ground. Okay, we're gonna come back here. We got this light, this is our marker light. It's red. We're in the back. That's right color. We're good. All right, that's where we want red. We're gonna look on the top and work our way down. All right. Just like a page of the book, we start from the top, work our way down. We got our clearance marker lights on the top, proper color red. I see one is a little broken. We'll report that to maintenance, but it does not put it out of service. All right. We're gonna move down. We're gonna have our door. Our door here is properly locked and secured. Latch in place. No missing hardware on those hinges. None of it's bent, broken, or cracked. We're gonna come down. We have now our DOT reflector. How much do we have to have back here?
100%.
One line from one end to the other, 100%. All right? Very minimum. You can see we put more. Everybody does. They want to be visible. That's clean and clear and visible. All right? That DOT reflector. We're going to move down. right, here now we have our tail lights, our turn lights, our brake lights. All of it's working. All right, is there any problem here? Is everything good?
Everything good. We don't have the brake lights on.
All right, besides not going the brake lights and whatnot, is this okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, as long as these are only used for directional and hazards, they're not on all the time, that's fine. All right, if they're on all the time, like other vehicles have them as also lights, all right, they cannot. They have to be red then. So, these can only be amber if they're only used for directional hazards. All right, so this is only my directional hazards. These will be my brake lights and my tail lights. All right, so all it's properly mounted. I've been broken or cracked. All right, we're gonna come down. Our license plate light, it has to be working. It's working. I don't know that.
Okay.
All right, my license plate. Again, properly mounted in its bracket. Clean and clear and visible. What's this?
Inspection sticker?
Nope.
No,
It's your registration.
Okay.
There's a registration for this vehicle. Remember, you're a combination vehicle. 2 vehicles. 1, 2. This is the registration of this vehicle, and it's supposed to be on the back plate, usually the back corner, but it's there. We're okay. All right, now we got this.
bumper.
Eh.
DOT bumper.
DOT crash bar.
Crash.
It's a bar, and you crash into it. Designed by DOT. Right? DOT crash bar, not a bumper. All right, a bumper pushes you back. That will not push you back. All right, you crash into it. All right, or ICC bar. That's the proper term. That's who commissioned it. Interstate Commerce Commission said you need this bar so people don't go underneath your trailer. All right, it's an ICC bar or DOT crash bar. Everybody finds DOT crash bar a lot easier to remember.